Uh, Good afternoon, class. And today I'm going to continue with the public administration. And here I'm going to start with the most important topic today, the UPSC and the Nagaland Public Service Commissions, the training, promotion. Okay, this UPSC and NPSC, these are the two expected questions every year. One is sure, 100% sure. So now I'm going to discuss about the types of training. Firstly, I will start with UPSC. After that, I will end up with the NPSC and the department which looks after this training. Remember, see, Department of Personal and Administrative Reform, Government of Nagaland. This was asked for 20 March 2022 Mains. Okay, Department of Personal and Administrative Reforms. We will discuss this because it is this department who will give you training. Once you crack NPC exam as an ESC, as a DSP, as an elite service, you will join this Department of Personal and Administrative Reforms for training. So see, this will be my most important, the last topic. I'll give you the functions, the powers and functions. Why are you going for training? The types of training you will undergo, and after that, the promotions. Today, I will discuss about. The promotion system. Okay, of all these UPSC and the NPSC, no, especially the NPSC. So see, firstly, let's start with the UPSC. Okay. Today's topic is too important because in mains, every time 5, 10 marks, 20 marks is expected from this topic. So listen very carefully. It's a very important topic. So now, okay, UPSC, the Unit Public Service of Commission. Okay, this the Unit Public Service of Commission. It is the commission which will conduct exam every year for the post of the All India Services and Group A Services. These are the only services which will be conducted by the Union Public Service Commission every year. So remember, here the point is All India Services. So see, when I say All India Services, only three services: Indian Administrative Service, Indian Police Service, Indian Forest Service, Indian Forest Service, Indian Police Service, Indian Administrative Service. Only 3 services are known as the All India services. And if you crack UPSC and you are in the top list, you will get this job. And those people who crack the UPSC but who gets lesser mark will get the Group A services. Just like Indian Revenue Services, Indian Audit and Econ Services, or Indian Defense Services. These are known as the Group A services. So the highest is only 3. Topper number 1, IAS. Topper number 2, IPS. Topper number 3, IFS. Okay, so remember, these are the only 2 services you have, and this exam will be conducted by the UPSC. So remember, NPSC will ask you the trainings. What are the trainings that these people will undergo? What are the trainings, or for what reason you will go for training? 2 important. The types of training, and the second is, by going to training, what you're going to learn. Yes. By going to training, what you're going to learn. Second is, what kind of a training is given by the government of India. So today, my topic is, I will give you the training, the types of training which is given to the UPSC after you crack the UPSC exam. So I will discuss this today. Okay, if you crack UPSC exam, almost you will go for 2 years training. Okay, if you crack UPSC exam, an IAS officer or an IPS officer will go almost for 2 trainings. So most probably, the NPSC will ask you about the training of the Indian Administrative Officer, as it is a part of the administration. Okay, public administration. So we will discuss the training which is given to the IAS officer, Indian Administrative Officers. So see, before 1969, the IAS officer, once you crack UPSC exam, they go for only 1 training. But in the year 1969, they have introduced 1 more training known as the Sandwich Program. Sandwich Program means, this is often asked in NPSC, 2 marks. Sandwich Program means you will go for 2 periods of training. First 1 year, second 1 year. 2 spells of training is known as the Sandwich Program. 2 important. 1969. 1969 is the year when the Sandwich Program was introduced in India, in the Department of Administration for the UPSC cadre, for IAS officer. You go for 2 years training. 1 year district training, 1 year professional training. 1 year is the district training, the other 1 year will be the professional training. So now, this is known as the 2 skills of training, 2 period of training. So now today, I will discuss about the 2 types of training, okay, which is given to the All India services. So please write it down. Okay, altogether it will make you 2 years. Okay, an IAS officer will have to go through 2 years training. First is foundational courses. Musuri Udarantan. Okay. Once you break NPSC, you will go to Musuri, which is in Udarantan. This is the place where you will go for foundational training 4 months. After that, professional training 5 months, district training 12 months, and professional training again. The last phase of training is known as the 3 months. So after this, you have to appear an exam, which is conducted by UPSC again. Okay, just like within the IAS officer, you will have one exam. After that only, you will be known as an IAS officer or the real officer. So before your training, even though you break UPSC, you will never be called an IAS officer. You are known as probationers. You are known as probationers. Probationers. Which means you are going for training. You are known as probationers for 2 years. But only after your training, after you appear an exam conducted by this UPSC again, same in the place in Mussoorie, if you pass this exam, you will be known as an IAS officer. So obviously you will pass this easy, okay, but this is the training, the 2 years training, you have to go now. So now, after that, NPSC is going to focus on the field training, okay, the field training. Often asked in NPSC is the field training. Field training is often asked in NPSC 2 marks, 5 marks, field training. So remember all this now. District training means an IAS officer, suppose in the UPSC exam, okay, you are given an option which state you want to serve. In the interview, before you go to interview, in the form you have to fill up in which state you want to serve. So if you say, I want to serve in Rajasthan, I want to serve in Nagaland, 1 year training will be in Nagaland. District training, 1 year training, you have to go in your own state which you have chosen, known as the district training, which means the field training. Okay, so why field training is organized? Often asked in NPSC, why field training? Field training is given in order to know the real, practical, realistic problems of the people in general, and for you to attempt to the problem and how to solve it, right? Without knowing a problem, without trying to solve a problem, I don't think you're going to become a very good administrator. So first is, you go to the subdivision, visit some village, ask them what is the problem they face, and you also get experience. You will also feel adapted to the environment. That is why we go for field training. Field training is a training which is given by the government of Nagaland or government of India for the ESC or IAS officer in order to really adapt to the problem and get an experience and solve the problem and be a very good administrator. For that reason only, we are organizing you field training. Okay, field training is too important. Without field work, your promotions, your experience, you're going up in the higher level, no. Not possible. You have to go for field training and field experience. See the problem. I'm here to solve the problem. I'm here to adapt to the environment. Whatever it might be, it is backward, it is underdeveloped. But no, I have to visit because this is my problem. I have chosen to be an IAS officer. I have chosen to be an NCS officer. So now I have to come to the conclusions. I have to know the problem. I have to solve the problem. And I have to feel all the problem. So remember all this, field training is too important. Field training, it was 2 marks or 5 marks. So now first we will start with the 4 months. An IAS officer will go for 4 years training first. Sorry, 4 months, known as the foundational courses. So I'll give you a notes here. Please write it down. Okay. The foundational training course organized by the National Academy of Mussoorie. The foundational training course organized by the National Academy of Mussoorie is a combined training course for the new entrants of the All India Services and Central Services. The foundational training course organized by the National Academy of Mussoorie is a combined training course for the new entrants of the All India Services and Central Services. See, these foundational courses, 4 months, is for all the All India Services, IAS officer, IPS, Indian Forest Service, and all the Group A officer. 4 months, you have to stay together. 120 days, you have to stay at Uttarakhand. You have to stay at Uttarakhand for what reason? For what reason? To know, now I'll give you. Okay, now I'm going to give you for why you are going to stay at Uttarakhand for 4 months foundational courses. Please write it down. The 4 months foundational courses is given with the following objective. The 4 months foundational courses training is given with the following objectives. Number 1, to develop a feeling of belongingness. To develop a feeling of belongingness and a proud command outlook among all the members of the higher civil services. To develop a feeling of belongingness and to develop a broad command outlook among all the members of the higher civil services. And develop a broad command outlook among all the members of the higher civil services. See, to develop a feeling of belongingness. Yes, you should feel like, okay, I'm coming from Maharashtra, I'm coming from Nagaland, but you feel like, okay, this is my place. And second is, you are an IAS officer, I'm an IPS officer, he is an Indian Forest Service officer, he is an Indian Audit Town Services, and I am an Indian Revenue Services. But we should feel like we are same people. Broad common outlook means we are same people. You see, we are same people. You should feel like we are the same people. That's the reason. This training is given. Number 2, to provide an understanding of the constitutional, economic, social, political, legal, administrative, historical context. To provide an understanding of the constitutional, economic, social, political, legal, administrative, historical context within which the administrators have to function and make their contributions. Within which the administrators have to function and make their contribution. One more. To provide an understanding of the constitutional, economic, social, political, legal, administrative, historical context within which the administrators have to function and make their contributions. See, what is this? To provide an understanding. Okay, firstly, before you become an IAS officer, in short, you have to know the Constitution of India, the economic policies of India, the administrative policy of India, the legal policy of India in general, right? The history of India, that means the basic history of India. Where does we come from? Yes, we have known all this, the constitutional background, the economic, the social, the legal, the administrative, and the historical background. We have to know. That's why you are having this 4 months training. You will all study together in general for these 4 months. Last one more point. To develop professionalism, administrative, and human values among all the probationers. To develop professionalism, administrative, and human values among all the probationers. To develop professionalism means you should be trained professionally, right? You should become expert to deliver justice, to do works, everything. Yes, you have so many problems in India. You're going to solve. You are a nation builder. Remember, you are the nation builders now. So professionalism has to be there. Human values has to be there. You should be a person who should have a feeling of love to all the people, no matter where, no matter what kind of a people he is. He might be Hindus, he might be Muslim, I might be Christians. No, as an IAS officer, as an IPS officer, you should be able to help all these people. That is why these training courses has been given to you. So these are known as the foundational courses. Okay. After this, now I'm going to discuss the sandwich program. For 4 months, you will go for all this training, and these are the why you go for foundational courses for this reason, which I have given you now. Okay, now one more thing, the sandwich program. See, till 1969, we just have one training. Okay, you go for only one period of training, but no, now it is different. Now it is different. Now you have to go for 2 trainings. Now you have to go for 2 trainings. First day, you just have to go for 1 training, but for now, you have to go for 2 trainings. Okay, first day, you just go for 1 training. But now, you have to go for 2 trainings, 2 period of training, that means. Okay, so please write it down. In 1969, professional training programs, in 1969, professional training programs for IAS professionals underwent a change with the introductions of a sandwich course on the recommendations of the Administrative Reforms Commission. In the year 1969, professional training programs for IAS professionals underwent a change with the introductions of a sandwich course on the recommendations of the Administrative Reforms Commissions. On the recommendations of the Administrative Reforms Commissions. Since then, the IAS professionals are required to undergo 2 spells of professional training at the academy. Since then, the IAS officers are required to undergo 2 spells of professional training at the academy. With a gap of 1 year between them. In 1969, professional training programs for the IAS professionals underwent a change with the introductions of a sandwich course on the recommendations of the Administrative Reforms Commission. Since then, the IAS professionals are required to undergo 2 spells of professional training at the academy with a gap of 1 year. This gap is utilized. This gap is utilized for district training in the states. This gap is utilized for district training in the states. During the first spell of institutional training, during the first spell of institutional training, the IAS professionals study in more detail. During the first spill of institutional training, the IAS professionals study in more detail the problems of the Indian administration. The IAS professionals studies in more detail the problems of the Indian administrations, Indian Penal Code, Indian Penal Code, constitutional in the legal system, economic planning, etc. During the first spiel of institutional training, the IAS probationers discuss in more details the problems of the Indian administration, the Indian Penal Code, the constitutional in the legal system, in the economic planning, etc. After this, they are sent back to their respective state for field training. After this, they are sent back to their allotted state for field training. After this, they are sent back to their allotted state for field training. The posting of an IAS probationers, is decided by the Chief Secretary of the concerned state. The posting of an IAS officer, IAS probationers in a state is decided by the Chief Secretary of a state. At the end of this 1 year training, field training in the state, the IAS probationers return to the, at the end of this 1 year field training in the state, the IAS probationer returns to the academy, that is to the Mussoorie, to undergo a second spiel of the professional training. At this stage, the probationers focuses on the discussions of administrative problems and issues they were confronted with or they observed during the course of their practical field training in the state. At this stage, the probationers focus on the probationer discussions on the administrative problems they were confronted with or they observed during the course of their practical training in the state. At this stage, the IAS probationer focuses on the discussions of the administrative problems and issues they were confronted with or they observed during the course of their training in the state. The training at this stage is more problem oriented. The training at this stage is more problem oriented. At the end of this training, the IAS probationers has to pass an examination conducted by the UPSC. At the end of this training, the IAS probationers has to pass an examinations which is conducted by the UPSC. And after this, now he truly becomes an IAS officer. After this, he now becomes an officer and is sent to the allotted state. So like this, in the field training, he will see the problems. Okay, in the field training, he will come across so many problems. So these problems, he will report to the academy, that is the Mussoorie. In the second spell of the professional training, it is all about the problem that he has seen during his course of training in the state. And these problems, he will discuss with other cadres out there in the academy. After that, they will have an exam at the end of the day. Okay, so see, first 4 months foundational course, and second 5 months professional training. 1 more year is a field training, district, state training. After this, he will go to the next 1 more 3 months. Here, he will study all the problems that he has came across when he was there in the district. After that, he becomes an IAS officer. So this is how the work of this IAS officer training is done. So the most important here is the field training, 1 year field training, okay, in the state. So what is this field training? Field training is just to see the problem. Remember, field training is just to see the problem which he has came across in 1 year. After this, he has so many experience now, and all these problems again he will take back to the academy. After that, he will discuss in detail in the academy again. After that, he will appear an exam, and now he will go to the state. So field training is for experience. Remember, please write it down. Why do we go for field training? For experience and see the problems, become more adapted, try to solve the problem. That's all. That is an IAS officer. So 2 years training. If you break NPSC, I will not see you. 2 years you have to go for training. After that only, you break NPSC. After you will go for training for 2 years. After 3-4 years, now you become the deputy commissioner. See, within 5 years, you are just an aspirant now. But after you break UPSC, within 1 year, 2 years training, after 3 years almost, you become the deputy commissioner. Okay, the first post will be the rank of civil STO. STO civil. Okay, just for 6 months or 1 year. Okay, just a civil STO, just 1 year. Additional deputy commissioner, you can say for another 2 years. After that, you become the deputy commissioner. Very fast. Okay, it's very flexible, and it's the fastest promotion you will ever see. So you break UPSC, you are the top of the world. So remember, it's possible now these days. Anything is possible because we have the technology. Yes, technology is there. So why should you go for Delhi? Even in Nagaland you can study, but you have some problem. Try to solve it. Try to know the problem. Issue is there. Easy now, flexible, very much possible. So this is all about the training, and training is given by Department of Personnel and Administrative Reforms. Department of Personnel and Administrative Reforms. But your selection is by UPSC. This is too important. You are selected by UPSC, but the training is Department of Personnel and Administrative Reforms. So now we will come to Nagaland. The most important part today we are coming in Nagaland. Now, how you go for training? We will see. Okay, this is short to come. Today's topic is a very important one from the NPSC point of view. From NPSC point of view, it is too important now. So let's see. Okay, Department of Personnel and Administrative Reforms. Okay. First, we all go for NPSC exam, right? And NPSC will give you selection, and if you are selected, you'll go for trainings. You'll go for trainings, right? So which department will give you training? Department of Personnel and Administrative Reforms. Okay. Department of Personnel and Administrative Reforms. Under this, we have a branch known as ATI. It is Department of Personnel and Administrative Reforms which will give you trainings, but the branch is known as the Administrative Training Institute. This is the department that looks after your training, promotion, pensions, but your training is given by this branch. ATI, Administrative Training Institute. Established in the year 1972 in Kohima. Administrative Training Institute is in Kohima, established in the year 1972. It will give you training. And so, two things you can expect. First is now you know what is the role. This was asked in 2022. 20 marks you can expect this year. Same thing you can expect might be for 10 marks. What is the role and functions of the Department of Personnel and Administrative Reforms with regard to the civil servant? And here, the trainings, the types of trainings you're going to get. So now, I'll give you the notes here, okay? Please write it down. This is very important. And remember, when you go for NPSC exam, you have three types of posts, right? NCS, NPS, and elite services. NCS means National Nagaland Civil Service. ESC is known as the NCS, right? And NPS means Nagaland Police Service, the DSP, the Deputy Superintendent of Police. NPS and elite service means like a secretary assistant, an inspector of taxes, a BDO, right? They are known as the elite services. So three types of services. It's up to you which one you want. It's up to you. But according to the marks, you'll get it. So now, just like my job for today will be, firstly, I will discuss about this. The types of training that the ATI provides you. Okay, the roles and functions. So please write it down. Administrative Training Institute, Nagaland, Kohima. ATI, Administrative Training Institute, Nagaland, Kohima, was established in the year 1972. Administrative Training Institute was set up in the year 1972 in Kohima as the Apex Training Institute. As the Apex, the highest training institute in the state. As the highest training institute in the state. Now let's see what is the role. It was created with the objective. It was created with the objective of increasing professional knowledge and skills. It was created with the objective of increasing professional knowledge and skills needed for better performance of individuals in organizations. It was created in the year 1972 with the objective of increasing professional knowledge and skills needed for better performance of individuals and organizations, and to promote better understanding of professional requirements, and to promote better understandings of professional requirements, and bringing about the right attitudinal orientations, and bringing about the right attitudinal orientations for all the government servants. To ensure effective and efficient functionings of the government machineries, and bringing about the right attitudinal orientations for all the government servants to ensure effective and efficient functionings of the government machineries in all the spheres of governance. The mission of the institute is to help the government departments tackle their challenging and complex public administrations issues with a view to make continuous improvement of their employees. One more thing. The mission of the institute is to help the government departments tackle their challenging and complex public administration with a view to make continuous improvement of their employees. One more thing. I will repeat once more. Administrative Training Institute was set up in the year 1972 with the objective of increasing the professional knowledge and skills needed for better performance of individuals and organizations, and to promote better understandings of better understandings of professional requirements and bringing about the right attitudinal orientations for all the government servants to ensure efficiency and effective functionings of the government machineries in all spheres of governance. In short, the main objective why we have an administrative training institute is to keep training to all the civil servant and, as I said, just like an IAS officer, to solve the problem, the challenging problems that you will come across in the subdivisions, in the village, in the circle, in the district, in the state. Every problem, say, who is going to solve? You are the one. You are the state builders. And EAC is as a state builder. Remember, if you are going to be an EAC now, you have to solve the problem. So many problems, you have to tackle it. So for this, professionalism has to be there. You have to be well trained. See, why people are suspended? Why particular EAC is suspended, or the civil institute, or why the Commission of Zimbabwe is suspended? Because of this, the lack of training. Training is bad. The training is bad. Professional training is not there. Okay, that's the reason when you go for training, you have to be serious. It is not just like I become a TSP, I become an EAC, or I become a secretary assistant, I will enjoy my life. No. Training is too important. The issues, you have to see the issues, try to solve the problem, try to adapt to the environment, try to seize the problem, and try to bring a solution. That is how you become a good administrator. That is how you are going to be promoted very fast than your friend. You all entered this an EAC in the year 2024, but your friend was confirmed IAS officer in the year 2045. Why? Why you are being confirmed IAS officer more than your friend? Your friend will never be confirmed IAS, but you will be confirmed because you see the problem, you have solved the problem, and your training is too good. That's why be in the merit is okay. Training, you be in the top. That is how you promotion is too fast now. So now my last topic here will be, I will now see last powers and functions, Department of Personal and Administrative Reforms. I will discuss the powers and functions of the Department of Personal and Administrative Reforms. Department of Personal and Administrative Reforms. Okay, this is a very important topic. Okay, now please write down. Let's write down some 5 points. Okay, on Department of Personal and Administrative Reforms. This is a short account. This at least you can expect 10 marks this year. Okay, so let's see what are these powers and functions. So please write down. Number 1, the powers and functions of the Department of Personal and Administrative Reform, DPR. Okay, please write down the Department of Personal and Administrative Reforms. Please write in short, DPR. Department of Personnel and Administrative Reforms aims to achieve excellence in governance. Department of Personnel and Administrative Reforms aims to achieve excellence in governance and make optimum use of the human resources in the government. The Department of Personnel and Administrative Reforms aims to achieve excellence in governance and make optimum use of the human resources in the government. See, excellence in governance in the sense that, when you are working as an EAC, day-to-day function, okay, you have to be perfect, you have to be at the right time, you have to deliver the services at the right time to the right people. Okay, so this is the things you are expected to. After that, let's see the functions, powers of function. Number 1. Combating corruption through preventive and punitive vigilance. Combating corruption. One of the most important functions of Department of Personnel and Administrative Reform is combating corruption. Yes! Corruption is too important, right? See, everywhere corruption. So, one of the most important objective of Department of Personnel and Administrative Reforms is to stop corruptions. Okay, so please write it down. One objective is combating corruption through preventive and punitive vigilance. Through preventive and punitive vigilance. Through preventive and punitive vigilance. And next, providing quality training and motivations to government employees. Providing quality training. To provide quality training and motivations to government employees. Too important. Quality training has to be provided. Quality training has to be provided to all the government officials so that these people will try to solve the problem, attend to the environment. Try to solve the problem. Yes, so many problems will come up. Communal violence. Yes, communal violence, election violence, tribalism. So many cases will come up. So if you are trained, well trained, you can stop it. You can stop it. So that's the reason the training, perfect training, to give perfect training to government employees is another objective of DPR. Next point. Maintenance of government record in a systematic manner. Maintenance of government records in a systematic manner. Maintenance of government records. Yes, whatever you do today has to be written down. All this has to be managed by Department of Personnel and Administrative Reform. So see, Department of Personnel and Administrative Reform will teach you how to record the government files and all, right? Whatever you do today, it has to be recorded. It has to be recorded. That this is your function. That is why you are going to be trained. You are going to be trained for 1 year as an ESC or maybe as a government servant now. You have to be trained. Remember, without training, no matter how powerful you are too skilled. You have the potential human resource, right? I crack NPSC, but no, without training, I'm useless, you are useless. So training is too important. Training is too important. Next point. Enhancing transparency and accountability in government sector. Enhancing transparency and accountability in the government sector. Enhancing transparency and accountability. What is that? Enhancing transparency and accountability. Transparency means whatever you do, see, the government schemes and projects, you have to show to the people that this money, with this money we have done this project. Okay, you have to be very much transparent and you have to be accountable. When people come to your office, okay, well, what was this project for? For how many crores this project was sanctioned? You have to be able to show it, right? So enhancing the transparency and accountability in the government sector is also another job of the functions of the Department of Personnel Administrative Reforms. And nextly, another two more. Formulating rational personnel management policy for all departments that will increase efficiency in government and ensure proper career planning for officers. Formulating rational personnel management policies for all the departments that will increase efficiency in government and ensure proper career planning for officers. Formulating rational personnel management policies for all departments that will increase efficiency in government and ensure proper career planning for officer. Formulating rational policy. What is that? Formulating rational policies. Formulating rational policies. Formulating rational policy means the best policy, which is better for the government. The best policy for all the departments. You have to formulate a very rational policy means the best policy which is good for people in general or for a department, which will have a success and impact on the society, on the department, on the people in general. Okay, only this kind of a policy you have to formulate. So, Department of Personnel and Administrative Reform is there to formulate this kind of a policy. Formulating a very rational policy for all the departments that will ensure governance. Yes, without governance, without success. So many departments, around 75 departments in Nagaland. But until unless you're able to formulate a good policy, take the example now in Nagaland. Rio government, now the president, led BGP, is unable to provide governance to the people. Yes, people are not happy. Why? Corruption, law and order problem, mismanagement of fund. Why? Because of this. The good rational policy has never been met. Okay, the intellectual people has never been consulted. That is why we have a bad policy now. Governance is not there in Nagaland. Why? Because of this reason. At the top, you have to make a good policy. A rational policy means a very good, accepted, analytical, rational policy which will have an impact on the department, on the people, in the society in general. Okay, or else, what is the use of having a department, right? When you are unable to make a good policy. So this is the reason. And last point, last one more point, we will stop here. Last more point. Laying down procedures, standards and norms. Laying down procedures, standard norms. Laying down procedures, standards and norms in recruitment, regulations of service conditions, postings, transfers, deputations, pensions matters, and providing advice to department on all matters related to public service. Too important. Laying down procedures, standards and norms in recruitment, regulations of the government officer, transfer, promotion, pensions, deputations, and providing advice to departments on all the matters, related to public service. You see? Yes, obviously, promotion, transfer, posting, deputation has to be done. So, who will lay down the procedure? The rules, who will make the rules for these transfer promotions? It's the DPR. At the end of the day, the DPR will lay down your procedures, standards, and norms for the transfers, promotions, pensions, deputations of all you are an ESC now. All this has to be done by this department. So remember, this is the most important department that you will come after. So with this, I'm going to stop here for today. This is a very important topic from the NPSC point of view. All right. This is the most expected every year, Department of Personnel and Administrative Reforms. And second is one more department, that is the Administrative Training Institute underneath, right? So these are the two which you will get my question. Trainings. Training is going to be asked. Field training, Administrative Training Institute. No other option, you have to read. And this Department of Administrative and Personal Reforms, it lists the 5 and 6 points that I have given to you. These 6 points is too important. It lists for 10 marks. Okay, if you write for all this, you might get even 7 to 8, which is a very good mark. Okay, so with this, I've given you the selection, the trainings, and the department trainings. Now I'm going to discuss about after you become an ESC. Okay, after you become an ESC, a DSP, a BDO, an IAS officer, an IPS officer, what kind of behavior you have to maintain? What kind of morality you have to take into consideration? I have become an IAS officer, I crack NPSC, now I have to enjoy my life. No, there are some procedure which you have to follow, known as the ethics. Ethics and administration. Okay, this is a very important topic. This will be our last topic for today. So let's see. We'll discuss this important topic. Okay, ethics in administration or administrative ethics. Same, okay. Ethics in administration or administrative ethics. So in short, it means the good behavior that you have to maintain as an IAS officer, as an IPS, as an ESC, as a DSP, as an inspector. Once you break NPSC exam, what kind of behavior that you have to maintain? So let's start today. Okay, I will give you a note. So let's write it down. Administrative ethics. Administrative ethics denotes the professional code of morality in civil service. Administrative ethics denotes the professional code of morality in civil service. Administrative ethics denotes the professional code of morality in civil service. The civil service being a profession, the civil servant being a profession has developed a code of morality for its members. The civil service, being a profession, has developed a code of morality for its members. The civil servant are expected to set up a high moral standards, not only for themselves, but also for the community at large. The civil servant are expected to set up high moral standards, not only for themselves, but also for the community at large. Too important. See, ethics means the good behavior that you have to maintain as a civil servant. Okay, so now this administrative ethics is gonna be asked in ESC every time from different angle. See, when you become an ESC, sometimes you become too rough, sometimes you become too over smart, right? See, I become an ESC, I know everything. Now I want to do whatever what I like. No, that is not what you are expected of. You have to practice a high moral. Okay, high morality, which means you should be polite, you should be truthful, you should be honest, you should be skillful, you should be every time ready for everyone to solve the problem. So these are some of the things which is expected from you. You cannot just have wine, you cannot just have just like immortalities. Okay, in the society, no. As an ESC now, people expect you so many things. So you have to show good respect to the people. This is too important. This is too important from the NPSC point of view. This is too important from the NPSC point of view. Nothing is unimportant. Okay. See, once you become an ESC, now you really have to work for the people. You are expected to develop a good morality. So now. A good administrator will have some good attributes. Okay, now I'm going to give you an ESC. You all crack NPSC exam. You become an ESC topper number 1. All of you, 15 of you have cracked NPSC exam. Yes, all of you, 15 of you have cracked the NPSC exam. So now, what is important here is, now people will expect so many good attributes, means the qualities, the good qualities that NCS and ESC should have. Okay, so let's see the good attributes that a person should have. Okay, what are some of the good attributes that you will have? As an ESC, what are some of the good qualities that a person should possess? An ESC should have these following good qualities. Number 1, a sense of responsibility. Yes, a sense of responsibility. Too important. Even though you crack NPSC exam, if you don't have any responsibility, you're going to be suspended. You're going to be transferred, and people will never respect you. In that particular circle, the first job is I must have a responsibility to protect my people, to look for development, to give good governance to the people in general. So the first good quality is a sense of responsibility. Now I'm an ESC. I have to protect my people. I have to take my circle to the next level. That should be the determinations of you. Okay. Number 2. Skills in communication and personal administration. 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 What is this? Skills in administration means, yes, once you are trained, okay, when you are trained, you should be able to maintain law and order. Skills in communication, you have to communicate. Okay, communication has to be perfect. You have to be, so you can't speak now. Many of you can't speak now. But no, this some kind of shyness, leave it now. You're going to be an administrator now. Everywhere. The village council, the Kamburas, the Washis, the women's organization, the student union, the grounds. So many issues are there. So all will come to you. You are the head. So you have to be the communication, the way of talking, your way of communications, talking has to be perfect. And on top of that, your personal administration means, personally, you have to do skillful. Personally, you should be able to solve the problem, see the problem, adapt the environment, and just make a policy at the right time for the right people. So these skills in communication and personal administration has to be perfect. Next is willingness to engage in problem solving. Willingness to engage in problem solving. Willingness to engage in problem solving and work as a team. Willingness to engage. Willingness to engage in problem solving and work as a team. Yes, you should be happy. Now, as an ESC, people will call you up. Okay, in my village there is a law and order problem going on. So you have to rush it. You have to say yes. I have to willingly accept. Okay, I'm here to solve the problem and work with the village council as a team. Even though you are a boss, if you are unable to work with the village council, at the end of the day, even though you make a very good policy, people will never listen. It will end up in a failure, total failure, lack of administration. So you have to engage in problem solving and you have to work as a team. And last point, personal confidence to initiate new ideas. Personal confidence to initiate new ideas. Personal confidence to initiate new ideas. What is this personal confidence? That means as an EAC, you should be confident to bring some innovations. Innovation means some new policies, ideas to reform your subdivision. Okay, suppose see, water supply is bad, electricity is not good, the road management is not good. You have to do something. Okay, you have to bring a conclusion to this problem. The only reason why you want to be an EAC is that you have to bring a solution to the problem. You have to see the problem, bring a solution to the problem. That is what we need here. See, all this you read, you memorize, but no. You're practical, realistically, now you're going to be an EAC. As long as you're working there, no. Even though theoretically you are too strong, you top the merit list, but no. When you work as an EAC, the real quality of your as an administrator is going to be judged or tested. Your personal quality is to be tested in that particular area. When you work as an EAC, the real quality will come up. Okay, the true color of your personal confidence level. Okay, so these are some of the things you have to remember. So these are the attributes. A very good administrator will have all these features: willingness to engage in problem solving, initiating some new ideas, willingness to communicate. Yes. Sense of responsibility. So you will find some EAC, just he is running up here and there without any reason. Without any reason, he is not coming to office. Don't you think this kind of people will be respected? I don't think so. Now, once you are an EAC, you have to leave so many things. 80% you have to leave everything now. I will not see you many times. Okay, as an EAC class, now hardly I will see you once in a year. Okay, I will not see you because you are an EAC now. I hate some of my friends. They never make my call now because they are too heavy loaded with their works. Okay, this is too important. Next is some important elements of administrative ethics. Some important elements of administrative ethics. Now let's see what are some of the elements of administrative ethics. Some important elements of administrative ethics. Okay, let's see what are some of the good qualities, the elements of administrative ethics. Some important elements of administrative ethics. Number one, honesty, loyalty, impartiality, devotion to the duty. See, honesty, loyalty, integration, devotion to the duty, fairness. Neutrality. These are some of the good elements of administrative ethics. First is honesty. Some important elements of administrative ethics is honesty. You should be honest. You should never lie. You should be never corrupted. Loyalty to the nation. Integrity. Integrity means you should be able to die for people or for the government. As an EAC, sometimes you might be treated by someone, some mafias, but you should be able to work. I'm an EAC, I will protect my people. No matter whether you keep me a trade or not, integrity has to be there. I will work without fear. I will work without any corruptions. Loyalty to the nation, integrity, honesty, devotion. I am devoted to the people. Next is, last is neutrality. Here I am going to take 1 minute. Neutrality means you will not support anyone. No political parties. You are from NPF, okay, but no, you will work for any party. It may be BGP, Congress, everyone, any other government you're going to serve. Okay, next is in the village. There are two clans, right? Might be just like example, two tribes, Simas and Ambamis. You're never going to support anyone. You have to stay in the middle because you are an administrator, a judge. Your position is just to give judgment, to protect the people. No more neutrality. No more partialities. Neutral means you have to stay in the middle. That's all. Devotion to the duty, integrity, honesty. You should be ready. There are some IS officers who dies for the country. Okay, it's just like an EAC, you should be ready. Sometimes the problem is too much. The election problem, the village council problem, the underground problem, the mafias in the condas problem, so many corruption problem. All this you should be able to handle. So you should be morally strong. In short, you should be devoted to country. Okay, only then you'll be able to deliver. Or else no. If you are, even though you are in the top number one, you are unable to solve the problem, you are unable to work as a team, you are unable to engage in problem solving, you are unable to give time, now that particular circle will never grow. Okay, that particular circle will never grow. So this is so important. From NPSC point of view also, from your personal life also. Now, there are some factors which will never allow you to practice this administrative ethics. Okay, the factors which will hinder, which will stop you from practicing administrative ethics. There are some factors. There are some factors which will stop you from practicing administrative ethics, or there are some factors which will let you become corrupt. Let's see. Corruption, favoritism, nepotism, and political influence. 4 things. Every time you want to be a good administrator, yes, you want to serve the people. You want to serve the people. Yes, but no, there are 4 problems. You really want to serve the people, but no, there are 4 problems. There are various factors which will stop you from practicing the administrative ethics. Number 1, corruption. Number 2, favoritism. Number 3, nepotism. Number 4 is political influence. First is corruption. So there are some persons who are naturally corrupted. I want to be corrupted. I want to be a corruptee. I'm an ESC, but my job is I am not here to serve the people. One day, when I become a deputy commissioner, I will try to take at least 5-10 girls. There are some people, okay? So this has to be stopped. This should never be there. Okay, corruption is, see, one thing is corruption. This is the worst thing in Nagaland. Okay, one factor that will stop you from practicing this administrative ethics is, one is corruption. Next is favoritism. Yes, favoritism is there. You want to give the scheme to that particular person. You know that he is deserving, but you will give to that person. You know that this scheme is for Mr. A, but you will give to Mr. B. Naturally, you are practicing some kind of partiality. Third is nepotism. Nepotism means giving contracts, government posts to your family, or your neighbors, or your dear ones. Nepotism, yes. As a deputy commissioner, I give one beyond job to my brother. As an ESC, I give one sweeper post to my sister-in-law. See, nepotism is there, right? This has to be stopped. Last is political influence. Yes, at the end of the day. Now, you are working under the political system, right? In democracy in India, we are living under a democratic setup. So, politicians, without MLAs, ministers, you cannot survive. So, political influence, pressure is there. LTP fund is coming, schemes is coming, project is coming. You have to give the schemes to that particular person. You have to verify. You have to suggest these schemes for this person, or else you're going to transfer. Political influence. The worst thing about in democracy is political influence. The pressure is too much now. So you have to keep a balance. Okay, you cannot be 100% corruption free. You cannot be 100% corrupt. Be in the middle side. To be in the safer side, yes, you need posts, you need promotions, you need to increase your salary, you need a stability, right? So you have to maintain a good relationship with the politicians because you are part of the government. So political influence, you have to handle it in a very systematic manner. Alright, so these are some of the factors which will lead you to enter into corruption. The factors are nepotism, corruption, favoritism, and political influence. This is the only thing. Now, the last point I want to discuss is why this is needed. Why administrative ethics is important. 5 marks in NPSC Mains this year. Why administrative ethics? Why this is needed? Why we are discussing all about this ethics and all administrative ethics? There should be some importance, right? There should be some importance. Without this, I don't think you'll never be a responsible government officer. So let's see the importance of administrative ethics. Please write down the topic is importance of administrative ethics. What is the main importance of this? Number 1, to check the arbitrary activities of the civil servant. To check the arbitrary activities of the civil servant. To check the arbitrary activities of the civil servant. 1 point here. To check the arbitrary activities of the civil servant. Yes, sometimes an EC is become too powerful, right? Deputy commissioner is too powerful. We cannot even see him. To meet him is another thing, but just to see him is too dangerous. He is too powerful now. So now some officers are becoming too powerful. To stop this, we have administrative ethics. To check this kind of activities. He is not coming to office. When he is in office, he is too powerful, not responsive to the people. No, this is too much. So to check all this, to check the arbitrary activities of the civil servant, administrative ethics is needed. Number 2, to promote a sense of administrative responsibility. To promote a sense of administrative responsibility. To promote a sense of administrative responsibility means, yes, as a PSC, you should be responsible to the people anytime, every time, everywhere, right? So, without administrative ethics, that particular PSC or deputy commissioner will never be responsible to the people. That's why administrative ethics is needed. A sense of administrative responsibility is needed, but without administrative ethics, the officer will never be responsible. So, this administrative ethics is too important. Next is to establish and promote the correct relationship between the citizens and the civil servant. To establish and promote the correct relationship. To establish and promote the correct relationship between the civil servant and the people. To promote the correct relationship between the civil servant and the people. See, an ESC and the general public should have a good relationship, right? So without administrative ethics, it is not possible. So maintaining a good relationship between the civil servant and the common people are too important. For this reason, we have administrative ethics. Next is to improve the efficiency and effectiveness of administrative process. To improve the efficiency and effectiveness of administrative process. Too important now. Yes. To ensure the efficiency and effectiveness of administrative process, without administrative ethics, the civil servant can never be efficient and effective. So this is just like a check. Administrative ethics is just like a check on the civil servant. Without this, he can never be effective or efficient in doing his duties. So that is why administrative ethics is important, to ensure the efficient and effectiveness of the administrative process. Last point. To maintain and foster high morals among all the categories of civil servant. To foster and maintain high morals among all the categories of civil servant. To foster and maintain high moral among all the categories of civil servant. Yes! Civil servant, without administrative ethics, the civil servant will be like any other ordinary person, enjoying his life, rest, having a party, not responsible to the people. No, without administrative ethics, civil servant will never be responsible to the people. That is why to maintain and foster high moral among all the categories of civil servant, administrative ethics is needed. So see, remember, by next year, many of you will crack the NPSC exam. Some of you will be appointed as an ESC, a DSP, or a BDO, or inspector, or SA. But no, once you crack this exam, maintain all these administrative ethics. Okay, high moral has to be there, or else people will never respect you. Your promotion will be delayed, and you will never retire as a happy man. The last thing is retirement, right? The ending is important. Beginning and the ending is too important. So firstly, training has to be too important. Your pension has to be too important. Your pension, your retirement day is too important. It is just like you are dying today. The year you are born, the year you pass away, right? You come into this world, you leave this world. So going is too important. So like training and your ending of your service, the retirement day. So if you are very good officers, responsible, you will every time get your promotion at the right time, and you will also be retiring happily. So with all this, we have come to the conclusions, and yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Advance happy Christmas, and yeah, as a civil servant, these 60 days I have been telling you, come hard, you study well. After this, now leave everything aside now. This 60 days is for you, okay? This 140 post is for you. And any one of you, if you want to come and attend the English class 13 January, okay, the best English teacher we have hired. This is going to be offline, but English classes is too important. 2 weeks of English classes will decide this. English is the deciding for you. I'm telling you. In all this administration, polity, history, you can do something. But English is going to be deciding. So if you feel like this English class is too important, this 13 January, till 2 weeks. Okay, 14, 15 days, we will give you English grammar. Grammar and writing skills. Grammar and writing skills with some hot topics. And so this is a free for you. If you feel like I will come, you can come. After that, if you feel like I will join for another 1 year, we will provide you with the offers. I think we have so far advertised it in the Morong Express or so many websites, So if you feel like this is the coaching center you are looking for, we are here to guide you. Thanks a lot, class.